Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple123 Trader. This is the weekly playbook outlook for the week of May 16th to May 21st. Hope everybody is doing well and are safe. Okay, starting off tonight, I'm going to take a look at the update to the Auto 123 EA, and George and I worked pretty hard over the weekend here to update the EA. And what we were finding more than anything else was that every broker is different, and that's the challenge we're going to face going forward is to try to um, smooth out all the differences, the nuances of the different brokers, and make the EA as um, smooth as easy to work with each broker's specifications as possible. It's a tall task, and as members, we're hoping that you will watch real closely this week. Let the trades play out and see how the EA operates and what the results are. So just taking a look at one of the running right now. I'm in my live account running gold, for instance, up almost 300 pips right now, and it's in a buy stop. So this is on its way to target, which of course will be the next DX. So looking pretty good. So just let it run and let it play out. So 296 pips, with us, if you have 0.1 lot, that's $296. If you have one lot, you have almost $3,000, $2,950 right now. If you had 10 lots, $29,500. So you can see the kind of power and the kind of opportunity that there is with using the Auto 123. All right, so I have, let's see, other pairs, just the euro as well. Let's see, the euro right now, nothing's fired off as yet. I've got GBP, US dollar, nothing's fired off as yet. And I've also got the US dollar index, and that hasn't fired off as yet. So possibly something will fire off before too long here. Okay, taking a look at what's setting up for tonight's London Open session, and let me take a look at what's how the week's going to be looking with the majors and the futures. Okay, so let me take a look at that, and I'll start off with the Aussie, the Aussie dollar, and Aussie dollar right now we're way up at a very high point. It looks like it might be ready to turn back. Let me just go to the daily and we'll take a look. So on the daily, you can see our structure. So looks like we'll have a push to the upside in the short term, but eventually this is more than likely going to be coming down. So what it's doing is forming a complete head and shoulders here. So here's our neckline right in somewhere in this area, and this of course going to be challenging, but right now short term we're going to be in an upward move for this week, for at least a few days anyways, before we start to see some downward movements. So the Aussie of course is dependent on the US dollar, so we'll look at the US dollar, what that does. The Aussie will more than likely do the opposite of. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had some bad news from Mr. Musk, and it took a little tumble. You can see it's reached a pretty critical area. It could come lower, of course. So that's on the weekly. Let's take a look on the daily, see what it's shaping up like. Okay, so it's completely dropped to this level, back down to fairly close to a support area. And right now, all bets are off that it's going to turn around all of a sudden. It doesn't look that way. So more than likely, we're going to have some further down. Let me go to the 4 hour and take a look at it. It's possible now that yes, we could turn around. So um, we're way down, so we could see a turn and back to the upside. So watch out for a 1, 2, 3 setup there, and that would be a good catalyst for a turnaround play on the Bitcoin. Crude oil, it's crude oil is still going. We're right at a resistance area. You can see right all the way across, quite a strong resistance. So we're right there, but it looks like it's going to push right through that going into this week. And a catalyst there, of course, is summer is coming. People want to move and travel and so forth. So I think this was going to be a big push going forward, especially into this week and longer. So strength in oil. Okay, let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. This has been very strong, and you can see on the daily here, it's just continuing its move to the upside. So looking pretty good. We might have a little bit of a sideways move here, but probably not for long, and we'll continue to the upside for Canadian dollar. Okay, let's take a look at the US dollar now. And the US dollar has been taking a beating, dropping down. And, I called this out from weeks ago that what I saw here was this kind of move and that would be falling. And indeed we are. So we're going to be coming up into this support area. And more than likely we'll get a bounce here. But right now, there's still weakness in the US dollar. So I would want to see further weakness as we go into the week, and I'm looking for price to come back down into this area, like I say. So weakness in the US dollar, that would mean Aussie is going to have strength. The euro will also be strong. Okay, so you can see the euro right there on the daily is it had a little pullback, but is now looking to push back up. Will challenge this area coming into the week and more than likely break through to the next highs. So euro Aussie strength, US dollar weakness. Okay, so the next one we'll take a look at the Swiss franc. Also strength in this right now in the Swiss franc. So it looks like it too will continue to the upside, even though the US dollar is weak, the Swiss might be stronger. Okay, so gold also very strong. You can just what I showed you there, up almost 300 pips in gold. So it's very strong. So it's on its last push here. So we're going to come into this resistance area, and that's probably where it's going to falter at that point. Okay, so a little bit of strength left in gold. Japanese yen, I'm all on the daily here. We've had quite the drop. If I go to the weekly, you'll see this a little better. So we had quite the drop down to this support area. It looks like there's still further drop to come. So weakness in the Japanese yen, it looks like going into the week. Yes. Okay, so I would see continued weakness. We've had quite the move here, but looks like we're not going to be coming back up at all. We're going to be heading back down more than likely. So weakness in Japanese yen. Now look for the New Zealand dollar. That should be similar to the Aussie and heading to the upside. And on the daily here, that's what it's doing. We've got this movement and looks like we're going to continue this push back up to resistance again. Okay, so similar to the Aussie. And this is all dependent on the US dollar. Mexican peso, that's also strong to the upside here as well. So this move looks like we're going to continue. We have resistance here though, so it might be short-lived. Have a hard time getting through here, but it more than likely will break through. Okay, so taking a look at the British pound, and it too has lots of strength. So the weak US dollar is a catalyst for all these ones to move to the upside. So you can see where we are, but we more than likely will break through that level. Okay, so that's the British pound. Take a look at silver, which is similar to gold, and not so similar to gold. It's going the opposite direction. Actually, sorry, it is going the same way as gold is. I'm sorry. Gold is heading up. Silver is also heading up. So this looks pretty strong as well. It looks like we have one more push back up into resistance in that area. So silver looking strong going into the week. The US 2000, this is the Russell 2000. So what it looks like here, this is on the daily. We've come through a very strong up and down type of movement in here and heading back to the upside again. Are we going to break through this time? More than likely, I think we're going to continue this push to the upside. But for this week, we're going to be definitely challenging these previous highs. So strength in the US Russell 2000 and the Dow on the daily looking to break to new highs again in the coming week. So it's going to challenge the highs there again. So it looks like a pretty strong week with earnings and all that still coming out, looking pretty good overall. The US 500, the S&P 500 also looking to challenge those highs. So strength there. And then the US technology group, which has seen the most falter, is also starting to pick up again and looking to challenge these previous highs. So lots of opportunities coming into this week, and it looks like we're going to be looking pretty good overall. So US dollar weakness, strength in the major pairs, Aussie, Euro, GBP, and New Zealand, with weakness more than likely in USD CAD, USD Swiss, and USD Japanese yen, even Mexican perhaps. All right, so that's a look at what's setting up for this week. Profitable trading to everyone. Be safe. I'm done now. Thank you.